Welcome to the Introverted Doctor podcast, the podcast dedicated to uncovering myths, mistakes, and misconceptions that hold us back from living our best life at work, home, and play. In each episode, we focus on different aspects such as communication techniques, mindset, routines, habits, and behaviors, with the goal to show how to eliminate anxiety, trip-ups, and unwelcomed results that comes from ineffective communications. Well, this is the 52nd episode. I started the podcast a year ago with the goal of doing at least one episode a week for 52 weeks. My friends asked me, what's your goal? What's the end point? How many listeners do you want to have? How do you know you are successful? And my response was, when I've completed the 52 episodes, I'll feel I've been successful. The goal of each episode was to provide some knowledge, insight, or interview people that really shared some valuable and useful information. I knew along the way I'd also developed the skill of communicating and articulating myself better on camera, something that was very foreign to me. Through the journey, there were times I was thinking, why should I continue? Is anybody listening? Is there anything worthwhile or useful that I'm sharing? Is it helpful? Coincidentally, whenever I started to think this way, I would get emails about a particular episode I just did, or I'd run into someone who found a little golden nugget in what I shared that week. And people would say, thank you for taking the time to do the podcast. It was meaningful to them, and that was meaningful to me. It was very helpful and encouraging to know that the effort and expense that I was putting forth was valuable in helping someone. The second reason I continued was that I had in fact made a commitment to myself that I would do at least 52 episodes and then decide what I would do in the future with the podcast. Barring a major emergency, this was a commitment that I knew I could stick to. Another reason was that I wanted to interview people that were doing important work and who could share essential teachings or perspectives. Now, the final reason I didn't bother to quit was that I also wanted to leave a video of teachings, ideas, values, or viewpoints for my children. Many of us set up wills and other safety measures for our children or the future generation. But we don't always set up life lessons or perspectives we've learned. Things that will truly benefit them, perspectives that can guide them, mistakes they can learn from. And, as my father always reminded me, a smart person learns from his mistakes, a wise man learns from the mistakes of others. I know I would have loved to have seen a recording of my mom, dad, speaking on tough areas such as money, relationships, conflict, fears, overcoming mistakes, how to be resilient, what books or people inspired them, and so forth. Even just a written list would have been so valuable to me, and I would have treasured that immensely. Has there ever been anyone in your life, your dad, mom, grandparent, or a role model that you wished had recorded some teachings or idioms? How valuable would several moments with them be if you had a chance again? I don't think there is a monetary value you can put on that kind of tangible memory. Leaving, logging, and listing our wisdom, ideas, and perspectives behind is so much easier since we have the technology to do it quickly. There's a certain magic to video that captures the nuances of a person's personality. I always thought that even though my children are not watching or listening to this podcast now, when they get older and eventually when I'm no longer here in the world, they and their future generation will have the opportunity to see what I was thinking and what values I stood for. It hopefully will inspire, influence, and inform their life. This is a great thing for all of us to do, and I want to share with you a fun exercise that you can do to convey your life's work and experiences. You certainly don't need to start a podcast to do this. Essentially, you write out or videotape a list of ideas, quotes, and books that are meaningful in your life. It can be short or longer with explanations if you prefer. I'll share with you some examples. So basically what you do is you just start creating a simple list and grow it as you come across more things that inspire you. The goal is to create a list of 100 items over a comfortable time frame. It shouldn't be onerous, but rather fun. Team up with a friend or help increase accountability. And here are some examples that I'm going to share. You can customize the style to what fits you and your personality, and that whatever complements whoever you're going to be sharing this with, if anyone at all. So